Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Justin.
Round 3 starts on Friday.
Halfway to the ship. Halfway, 8 wins down, 8 to go.
Welcome to the AudPod, where we're talking Kitchener-Rangers hockey with the AudBalls themselves, Andrew and Justin. Take it away, fellas.
I'm just happy that we're not facing another animal. It's hard to make analogies about getting rid of the animals.
That's true. We did have a brainstorming session to talk about what our theme was for the cover of the episode with the dogs, with the greyhounds, and there was a lot of animal violence that we didn't want to get into.
We didn't want to get into
animals.
We're both dog people, so
yeah, I love dogs.
Tim is also a dog person, so we're just like, the pod is a real dog-friendly place.
Mm-hmm.
Even greyhounds specifically generally like them. So
yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh dear. But I did love the fact that the Spitfire Emporium that closed in Kitchener, right next to KW Surplus, the world famous KW Surplus, they took down the Spitfire this week off the building that's been there since I moved here. And I live, fairly close to the Spitfire Emporium. Never was there when it was open. I don't know if it was open while I lived here, but I always wondered, I thought it was strange that they just left behind the Spitfire. And this week they took it down. So if that's not a good omen, I don't know what it is.
They could have just waited till the end of the week. The Rangers would have taken it down for them.
Whoa! Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Shots fired.
Okay, so we just finished the series. We should maybe, we've had a couple days to gestate about this previous series against the Greyhounds. Andrew, what are your final thoughts on the Sioux Greyhound series against the Kitchener Rangers?
I think the Sioux was a good team, not a great team. And I think the Rangers are a great team. And I don't want to just boil it down to like that basic breakdown, but realistically, that's what it was. It was a 5th seed that deserved a 5th seed. They took down the 4th seed. That's always a toss-up. But, that 4th seed had kind of punted. We know the London Knights, they kind of punted a little bit. And, the Sioux is a tough place to play. They took a game from Kitchener in the Sioux. I think it was mostly because they wore those black and red uniforms that are really nice. Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, it was a good team that fell victim to an elite team that's built for a championship. And the Sioux, Brady Martin couldn't get going. Huge props to the team defense and Christian Kirsch in Kitchener. And I think that they were a little bit outmatched at the coaching level too. I think that Rangers were obviously a better coach through that series as well. So ultimately, they had, the elite goaltender and they had some really high-end talent, but they didn't have the cohesive team that the Rangers do.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the Rangers were, as you said about the coaching, I think that was my big takeaway too, is that the Rangers are an adaptive team. We have seen a few things sort of struggle in these playoffs. I think, our power play has felt a little, it not bad, but just it's been a little predictable when you're playing a team 4 or 5 times in a row. There's a few things like that, but coaching wise, I think the Juice Box boys have done a great job at taking care of the biggest threats on the ice. So everybody has their assignments, they understand them, everybody's bought into the team system. You can tell all that because they know where each other's going to be. We saw some pretty amazing flyby passes, one-touch passes, stuff like that. It's just that's awareness of your teammates and understanding the systems that you're playing, and that's really where that comes about. So it's been really nice to see the team sort of gel. I was a little bit concerned about that when you make lots of trade deadline deals. You don't necessarily know how everyone's going to fit in. Obviously, Dylan Edwards and Sam O'Reilly and Jared Woolley and Gabriel, I almost called him Ben Sherratt. Gabriel Sherratt have all fit into the team so well. They've totally bought in. They've totally joined this team. Sometimes I even forget that Sam O'Reilly and Jared Worley were once London Knights. Like I'm past that already. So, this is, except for I guess this moment. But
Yeah.
but it is nice to see the team gelling so well together.
You mentioned some really nice plays. The team knew when to be aggressive. They knew when to kind of sit back. They didn't let it get in their heads when they lost that game 4, when they probably could have won that game 4. And even when that first goal went in game 5 in less than a minute's time, that didn't seem to bother this team. So this team has faced adversity already in so many ways in the first 2 series, as much as you can with an 8-1 record. I need to especially highlight that incredible pass and finish, Bilecki to Edwards.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's probably the play of the playoffs so far. And you know what? I think that's the early contender for Apple of the Year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For the mid-year awards, for sure.
Well, I think Bilecki actually has 2 contenders for Apple of the Year, because he had that one touch that was like a backhand one touch, and then he has this one that he's getting hip checked, and he still completes it. So incredible player, going to get drafted higher than anyone would have projected at the beginning of the season, for sure. Yeah. It's really exciting. And ultimately, I just think that this team is built to beat Windsor. Windsor's a great team as well. It's going to be a dogfight, but it's not.
I see what you did there.
Right? But it's not a team that they can't handle if they play their best hockey. They can beat Windsor if they play their best hockey. The goalie is incredible in Windsor. He's having an incredible year, but we've been here before. We've seen goalies that are playing out of their minds. It all comes down to taking advantage of your opportunities when they're given to you. So power play needs to click. Jack Pridham needs to score. Yes, he's got some assists, but like now is the time where it's like, now we need not just the depth scoring, but we need the top line scoring. Oh, we've heard that Luke Ellinas is cleared for contact. I don't know if that means that he will be back game 1, but he is cleared for contact. So if you can add a Luke Ellinas, even if it's game 3, you can add a Luke Ellinas, or game 5, God forbid that there's a game 5.
Or you have him game 1, but you have to work him in.
Yes.
Like maybe he's not playing very much in those first couple games, but
yeah, well, I mean, it's conference finals, so he's got to get up to game speed, but he is a gamer. It is the type of player he is. And how fitting is it that he potentially returns against the team whose soul he took in the reverse sweep overtime game 7 winner last year?
Because of exactly what you just said, last year, Ellinas stealing their soul. We know that Windsor is out for blood this year. This is not going to be an easy series. I think any expectation of less than 7 games is an absurd way to think about this series. We're going in to dominate the series. We're going in to win this series. I think we have a better team. I'm biased. I still think we have a better team, even if I try and take my bias off. But this is going to be a fight. This is going to be a real battle of a series for sure. Windsor is a good team. We talked about this in our preview of the Sioux series. We talked about how Saginaw had one of the best lines in hockey, and the Rangers have dealt with that. We talked about Sioux having one of the best goaltenders in hockey, or at least in the OHL. And obviously we were able to take care of that. And so now, Windsor's a more complete team. That's the next boss battle.
They have both. They have depth as well. So
they do.
And they have great coaching. So they have everything that you'd need to beat this Rangers team. But I do think, even without my, red, white, and blue colored glasses on, I do think the Rangers are the better team.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I think this is going to be great. I mean, obviously, we don't have to get into the minutia of Windsor's lines, but Windsor has some pretty crazy players on their team. So, like you said, Jack Pridham, I think that's the AudPod call. Jack Pridham is positively regressing in goals this series.
Definitely.
This is going to be an outrageous Jack Pridham goal scoring event. That's what I foresee.
Yes, and Luke Ellinas, if he gets back in the lineup, I guarantee he is going to score. a big goal.
We're going to have
some point.
At some point, we're going to just play this clip of Andrew saying that with Luke Ellinas doing the thing.
And that'll just be the clip. And there'll be nothing else.
There'll be nothing else.
Yeah. We're going to see it.
So stay tuned. Yeah. I'm pretty excited about the series. I was excited about the Sioux series. It did live up to the hype. Obviously, I never want the Rangers to lose a game, but it was a real series where it felt like Saginaw was not a real series. The Saginaw almost squeaked one out, but it didn't feel the same in any way. Sioux was a good team. There's no doubt about it. They didn't have the depth, but they were a good team, and we can't take that away from them. They were good. They did show up. They gave the Rangers a run for their money a couple nights. So that was serious. Obviously, I agree 100% with what you said. Sioux, good team. Rangers, great team. Windsor, great team.
Exactly. And realistically, the Sioux could have won more than one game.
Yeah.
But the Rangers had to play their best, and they did. And they only got one game off them because, like we said, they weren't a match for the Rangers if the Rangers played extremely well. If the Rangers took their foot off the pedal, well, they lost the game. That's what we saw. The one time we saw the Rangers lift their foot off the gas, they lost. So that was a good team. But yeah, with Windsor, it's just going to be a heavyweight matchup. You've got the two heavyweight champion boxers who are going to unify the Western Conference title is what I'll call it. And I think honestly, either team could win this. It could go either way. So Rangers fans need to be on the edge of their seat. I know I will be. And I believe in this team and I believe that they will gut it out. But be prepared to have some scared moments throughout this series.
The Rangers need all of our support. All of it.
All of it.
All the positive vibes to the Rangers for this series.
Get down there and cheer as loud as you've ever cheered because that's what we need. We need to get inside their goalie's head. I want to hear chants and jeers. I want to hear cheers. I want to hear boos. And you know what? Like, the bottom line is there's going to be some calls you don't like. That's fair. But let's just go hard with the noise. If it's refs, you suck, whatever, just make it loud. That's all I want. I want energy, energy, energy so that the Rangers in the odd are just like, willed to win.
Yeah. Energy, positive. I think let's lean positive on it.
Let's lean positive. Yeah, there's going to be bad calls. It's going to happen.
All right. So the Windsor series kicks off Friday, April 24th at 7 p.m. in Kitchener because we have home ice advantage for the entire Western Conference.
I mean, we're definitely rooting for Barrie right now because Brantford and Kitchener meet in the finals. We'll suddenly only have 2 or 3 games at home, whereas Barrie would be still a lower seed. So go Barrie, go Kitchener.
Yeah. I think the OHL has really, because we're the number 1 seed, we get to choose when our games are because we start every series Friday night at home, which I really appreciate. Last year's playoffs was a hot mess of, I have no idea when these games are going to be, but these are very consistent and I love it. You're making the AudPod life easy. Okay. Now we are jumping into, last week when was it? On the last mini episode, the last car episode, game 5, we said, hey, we have a voicemail.
We did.
Andrew, say more about the voicemail.
I'm really excited. We added a voicemail feature to our website and some of you responded. We asked for your hot takes, your spicy takes, or just if you wanted to drop in and say hi. So we're going to keep that feature up there. Obviously, between recordings, we won't necessarily be able to put every voicemail on every pod, but we are looking forward to hearing from you. So please stop by at any time and drop us a voicemail. And these are the first 4 voicemails that made it onto the pod. So we're pretty excited about sharing these with you.
Indeed. Okay, the first one up is from Andrew's mother-in-law, Rita.
Okay,
which I love.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rita. We're going to listen now.
Hi, Andrew. This is your mother-in-law, Rita. I know nothing about hockey, but I quite enjoy watching the AudPod with you and Justin. You guys are doing a great job. Go, Kitchener Rangers, go. I think that's the team you go for, right?
Yes,
Yay!
that is the team we go for. Yes, that is the team.
That's
You
the
know
team.
that. She knows that. She knows that. She's just playing coy. She knows that.
Thanks, Rita.
Thanks, Rita.
I had a lovely chat with Rita last summer about canning tomatoes. And I cherish that moment.
That's true. You got me in trouble because I don't can tomatoes.
Yeah.
And she's like, even this guy.
Yeah. This
cans
non-Italian weird concoction of a man cans tomatoes.
She didn't say it in so many words.
Sure.
But,
I could see it in her eyes.
Yeah. She's like, this guy?
Jabroni.
No,
I think that's what they call me.
She never ever did that.
That's what she said to me.
I know she's going to listen to this, and I have to say she did not say that.
All right. This next one is from Brendan.
I feel like this upcoming series is going to be a tough one for the Rangers just because Windsor has been on a hot streak with their playoffs journey, but they do have a good chance because they defeated Sioux, and Sioux is an underdog in the tournament. But also, Windsor's hoping for a little revenge for the past 2 years, with last year having the reverse sweep on Windsor for the Rangers.
Definitely.
And the year
Couldn't
before
agree
that
more.
was the good old underdog 4-0 sweep when they
Loved it.
were the 8th seed. So this series is probably going to be a tough one for the Rangers, but hopefully they can get the win and go to the finals.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't
Yes.
agree more.
I know. I was thinking about that too. Was 2 years ago when I was experiencing my first playoffs at the Odd? It was the 4-0 first round sweep where Kitchener was the 8th seed.
Yes.
And I went down because I was like, oh, Shane Wright is playing for the Spitfires. Let's see him play. And it turned out to start a love affair with the scrappy underdog Rangers, which of course now they've turned into the Titans of the Midwest.
Was Liam Greentree on that team?
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay.
because that
So
would have
he's
been his
just had a
first
lot
year.
of heartbreak to the Rangers.
That would have been his first year, right? First year, second year. Last year was his draft season. This year, or is he? Yeah, or is he an overager now?
No, I don't think he's an overager. I think he has another year.
Okay. Either way, he would have been on that.
He
team.
would have been on that team.
Yeah.
All right. This next one is from Evan.
This is about last year in Game 7 against Windsor. We had Ellinas, and he scored the overtime winner. I was at that game. I knew he was
I'm
going
sure
to
did.
do
This guy
something
gets
big
it.
because in warm-up, one of the Spitfire fans brought one of the clappers that they gave out in Kitchener. He, I guess, went to Kitchener and came back with one. Right at the end of warm-up, he started ripping it. Ellinas was like, that lit a fire under Ellinas.
Asking for it.
And hopefully we get somebody like, I don't know, Pridham step up, do
Yeah.
something in those big moments, get back to what he was like in the
Do
regular
not piss
season.
off Ellinas.
We just came from playing
Do not
the
light
third best
anything under his
goaltender in the
butt.
league in Carter George, and
Yeah.
now we're going on to the best. So it's
are we
going to be
doing
a battle.
that? This guy
I also
knows
have
everything.
Fedorov at 2 if you care.
What more could we say? Evan knew it all.
Yeah, absolutely. He did. He knew every single thing that we talked about, and he said it more succinct and eloquent.
Yeah.
It was
a 1 minute podcast from Evan seems like a normal 1 hour podcast from the Oddballs.
Yeah. He's just going to start uploading the voicemails that he would send to us to Spotify.
Yeah.
And he'll corner the market. Perfect. Great voicemail though. Loved it.
Totally. Yes. No complaints. 10 out of 10. And our final one for this first rendition of voicemail reactions. We need a theme song.
We do. Voice. Yeah. Voicemails. Voicemails. I know Tim will do something.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
He'll auto tune you.
Yeah. Voicemails
You'll sound like
to the AudPod. Yeah.
sound like T-Pain.
Make me sound good.
All right,
not even Tim has the magic.
No, he's good, but he's not a wizard. Well, he is a wizard.
Well, he is a wizard.
Yeah, maybe like a level 3 wizard.
You're a wizard, Timmy.
Oh my god. Okay, the last one is from Mark.
Hey, Andrew. Hey, Justin. It's Mark. Great running into you guys Friday night at the game, chatting about the series so far and what the boys needed to do to come out with the win. And boy, did they ever. Got the matchups, shut down Brady Martin. Kirsch played great. defensively, limited them in shots. Can't wait to see what we can do against Windsor. We've played them really well all year. Look forward to seeing you guys at the game. Take care.
Yeah, Mark,
Okay.
we're looking forward to seeing you at the game too.
Another pro. Mark.
Yeah.
Mark's a beauty. Mark has like broadcast chops. Mark,
Yeah.
there was no ums or ahs.
Totally.
Mark took his time and was confident in what he was saying. I completely agree. They shut down Brady Martin. They did what they had to do. Now it's, it's turned over a new leaf. Now they have to focus on a different opponent with a different set of skills. And hopefully Mark is right that this team will continue to do what it's been doing against Windsor all year. Of course, winning the series 3-1. We'd love to see another series where the Rangers have a distinct lead after the first 2 games at home.
Totally. Yes, we need that lead. That would be great. That home ice advantage is going to be more important in this series than any other series. We talked about it with the Sioux. It's going to be more important against Windsor because you want to have those lineup matches. So that's why I say might go to 7. I don't want it to. But it might.
I know.
All right. Well, thank you very much to Andrew's mother-in-law, Rita. Tim put it in as Andrew's MIL, and then I had to think about it for a second on who that was, and it was Rita.
Yeah.
Brendan, Evan, and Mark, really appreciate you all sending it in. The voicemail box, as Andrew mentioned, is on our website. It's at the top of the screen. It kind of looks like an ad, but it's not. If you look at it closely, you're like, oh, right, this is actually what they were talking about. You can click the button, record right on the website, and it will send it in. We'll take them at any time. If you send it in during a game, we'll try and put it in the mini episode after. No
Yes.
promises on that, but we will try.
We will try.
And then for sure, if we don't hit it in a mini episode, we'll put it on our wrap up episode for the series. So that's the goal. That's the dream. Even if it's just like, man, I hated that play, or I love that play, or I can't believe we've never talked about this player. Those types of things. We love to hear it. So thanks to everyone who wrote in. And of course, we got to thank Ken Bourne, our director of branding and marketing.
Papa Bourne.
For all the lovely stuff and things and the beauty of our product that we put out.
It's true.
Yeah,
He dresses up. He puts lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, totally. We got to shout out the prodigal producer, Liam.
The Phenom.
Who was so dedicated. He was listening to the radio because he couldn't figure out how to get a broadcast of the game, game 5. He was listening on the radio.
What a beauty.
Yeah. Legend. So shout out to Liam. Of course, we got to shout out Tim. Who's going to be auto-tuning us at this point. We are talking in auto-tune now.
Voicemails on the AudPod. Yeah.
And of course, we forgot to shout her out last time. So double shout out to JJ.
Yes, of course, because JJ rang the bell. And has done chemo and is the true battle-built warrior of Kitchener-Waterloo region. She is the rallying cry for this team. And I'm excited to be, in her, like in the lore of the Kitchener Rangers, be a part of the JJ story is unbelievable.
And of course, the second shout out is for her wonderful introduction to the podcast. So thank you, JJ, for doing that.
Yes.
And Andrew, how do you find us on the social medias?
You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at the Odd Podcast. And you can find us on YouTube. Just search the AudPod Kitchener Rangers or anything basically with any of the players' names or the coaches' names or, Mike McKenzie or anything really, because we will come up. And of course, visit us at theoddpod.com and leave us a voicemail.
You can also send us an email at hello@theoddpod.com.
And we love comments on the episodes on YouTube and on Spotify, and likes and thumbs up and comments on social media. We love when you interact with us. It really, truly helps the pod. Like, you've no idea how much it helps.
Yeah, it's huge. It's amazing how one comment can propel the episode just a little bit further. So yes, thank you to everybody who does that already, and thank you for doing it in the future. Now at the end of this episode, we are going to jump to our super cut of all of our mini episodes. So if you weren't listening to all of the episodes post game, you can listen to them now. Special guest Babs, thank you for jumping in to the car twice. Did he do it twice on this one?
Well, I don't know. He just manifested in the car the second time.
The second time. I have no idea how he got there. Still, I think I should. He might have a
He might
copy
be
of my
there
key.
now. Yeah, he might be there now.
I should go check.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. And on Friday night for round 3, game 1, you can find us at
The Kitchener Memorial Auditorium.
Auto-tune. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Justin.
Nobody's there. Nobody's there. It's just Andrew and Justin. Okay. This is game 1, round 2.
Round 2.
Road to the Robertson against the Sioux Greyhounds. We won 3-1.
That's true. I was thinking it was 2-1, but with 1.3 seconds
1.3 seconds left.
Which is very fitting because number 13 gave us the win.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Hayden Ellis showed out.
Hayden Ellis was amazing tonight.
The
Depth scoring.
The kid, exactly. We called it. The
Yes.
kid from Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
He came, he showed out.
Yeah.
Let's go Buffalo.
So, first period, no scoring. Second period, 2 Hayden Ellis goals.
Yeah.
Third period, I didn't actually see who got the game or the empty netter.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly. Oh yeah, that's right. I did know that.
Yeah. Lots of goals for Sam O'Reilly.
Oh, he's so good. Andrew was watching on TV.
Yeah.
I was at the game, so my knowledge of who had the pucks when important things happened is a little fuzzier.
Right.
But man, it was a good game. The odd was electric tonight.
Even on the broadcast, you could tell it was rocking.
There was after game 1 in the first round, I was a little worried that the odd wasn't showing up the way that I am used to the odd showing up.
Yeah.
But the odd showed up tonight, man. The fans were into it. The fans will always get after refs and goalies and whatever. But there was just some great moments of just the fans bonding over this game. Like,
nice.
This game really brought the fans together. I could feel it. You could feel the boys were ready to go, and yeah, the fans were into it.
They needed a big game in game 1. They
did.
needed a dominant win. I know it was only 3-1. I know that it was 2-0 for most of the game.
Yes.
And I know that the third period, yeah, it got a little, scary there a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it was more of like, let's lock it down and close it out.
Yeah.
And the Rangers weren't taking any chances.
No.
So I understand that the shots tilted a little bit.
Yeah.
But we got to give, Christian Kirsch his props.
Yes.
Right? Like he
sub 2 goals against.
There you go. And
good
right?
save percentage.
Yeah, it was right up
When
around
you got
30 shots.
30 shots and 1 goal against, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Carter George is an unreal goalie.
Certainly is.
This game could have easily. This wasn't quite the same way that Saginaw games went.
No.
This game could have easily been 6-1.
That's true.
And if not for the heroics of Carter George, like
absolutely.
He stopped 3 Sam O'Reilly, amazing attempts.
Yeah. And I mean, Prids had a couple amazing chances, and one he missed the net. But you got to give props to the goaltender and the positioning, and there was nothing to shoot at.
When you hit the post or miss the net, and it's your team that does it, you're like, the goalie. He must have just been.
He did so good.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because Prids being the leading goal scorer still hasn't
even with the empty net, he almost got it in, and they stopped.
I was kind of laughing, once I exhaled, once they got away, I was kind of laughing about that one because if your leading goal scorer still hasn't scored, but you've won 5 out of 5 games. You're like, okay, it's not a big deal. That's
fine.
The best part about winning.
Yes.
Is it cures all. It cures all, right?
Yeah, we know he'll show up when we need him to.
I'm telling you, the longer he goes without a goal, the more he's going to score once it starts going.
He also
looked like a man who was going to score tonight. He looked good. The Sioux is better than Saginaw.
Much better. Much better.
Their defensive core very strong. We said all this in our preview. The Sioux was they were gonna tackle our first two lines pretty well with their defense and their forwards who are good at defense. Like they were able to shut them down pretty good. That's why Hayden Ellis is our savior in this one.
And I got to give props to Gabe Sherratt. He was assist on both goals.
Yep.
Bilecki played really well. Yep. Depth defense. Cameron Reed had an unbelievable.
Yeah, was it Cameron Reed who broke the ankles?
Yes.
I sent you the text. I was like, 1 minute left in the second.
Cameron Reed,
textbook ankle breaking. If we can put that clip in, we will.
That would be unbelievable because it was like. Remember, I was talking about him being AI and not being AI like artificial intelligence, Allen Iverson crossovers.
Right,
yeah, that was it. I was like, there it is. There he is, a basketball point guard, and he does things where ankle breakers. Ankle breaker combos.
I don't even know which game it is, but I play an NBA game on my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And one of the things is you break someone's ankle and they literally just fall over, and that's exactly what happened.
Exactly.
Right here, we're showing it. Yeah. If we don't show it, Tim just cut. But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Tanner Lamb got an amazing breakaway. He got held up a bit. The refs were being a bit stingy with the calls. They were really they called 2 Ranger penalties and pretty much immediately after within the next 2 minutes called a Sioux penalty. There was not that much power play time.
No, the referees did not decide the game.
No,
tonight.
And I am so grateful for that.
And the Rangers benefited from some calls as well.
Yeah,
it was
lack of calls.
Well, that's more what I'm saying. Diracolo, I was shocked.
Yeah,
did not get a roughing penalty.
Yeah.
And I loved what he did. I loved that he stood up for his teammate, and I loved that he got in the face, and I loved that he tackled the guy. But I was like, that's 2 minutes.
I don't know who it was, but there was a Ranger player who hit a Sioux Greyhound in the third period in the Sioux end, and there was a kid in front of me who went, "Yeah, get him, Wooly." Was that Wooly? It was not Wooly.
Just exciting.
It was awesome.
They're just excited.
Like,
I don't care. I don't care if you get it right. Sometimes we get it wrong, and we have.
Awesome.
Sometimes we get it wrong, and we're supposed to get it right. I mean, we're actually not. If you've been paying attention,
yeah,
we're not supposed to get it right. But I love the energy.
Yeah, it was so
good.
That's
great.
This game, it felt so different. The third period, the Sioux obviously had a great pushback.
Right.
The Rangers dealt with that really well.
Mm-hmm.
The Rangers kept on with what became the winning solution against Saginaw with different choices when trying to enter the zone, not always trying to pass to the winger. Like there were some great things that the Rangers learned as a team from the last series that you can see that they're implementing in this one, and it's going to keep being successful if they keep playing like this.
And honestly, besides the late goal.
Yeah,
which
wasn't even that late.
Wasn't even that late, but
it was a good
besides goal. Besides what was a good goal from a good hockey team, I was kind of like, well, that was a dominant win. I thought from top to bottom, I was like, I think the Rangers outplayed them. Yes, they shut it down and they locked it down and they didn't shoot as much in the third period. If there was one criticism, you'd want them to be a little
push a little more.
Maybe push a little bit more.
It's game one.
But it's game one, and they were the better team, and they look like the stronger team. And like we said, it was depth scoring. You didn't even really have the high end guys going.
Yeah.
So if the high end guys get going, I don't know. Maybe it's not as long of a series as maybe that. In my somewhat I thought maybe 6 games, and now I'm like, I don't know. Still maybe 6 games.
Sure,
but the Sioux is going to have to make adjustments.
Yeah,
I hope they don't because I'm a Rangers fan.
Yeah,
but they're going to have to make adjustments.
They will. I was talking to Babs and Chris Peters, names dropped at intermission, and we were talking about the line matching. Like when they go back to Sault Ste. Marie,
yes,
like that's a different game.
Well, it's much harder that travel too. Like
it's a hard
they
travel.
go up there. They don't generally, in the last 2 years that we've been covering the team, they don't play well up there.
No, they don't.
So
it's like when an NHL team goes to Denver. It's
there's
something about
the elevation.
The elevation or going up there. Even though that's probably sea level because they're basically right there. But
I don't know. Something in the water up there.
Yeah.
I'm just excited that, the naysayers don't have anything for Kirsch.
Nothing. He looked great. He had some tough chances against them.
The AudPod nailed it on the depth scoring. Hayden Ellis, it's been a long time coming, and I don't mean that as an insult. He plays his role so well.
He does.
But it's been a long time coming that he was the hero.
Yeah.
Because he is a heroic player. He's an undersized player. He gets out there. He gives it all. I never see Hayden Ellis sandbagging. Ever. I never see him taking shifts where he's just floating around.
Yeah.
He works hard. The passing on one of his goals was unbelievable. It was like 4 guys touched the puck within 2 seconds, and it was just unbelievable.
The passing in this game was phenomenal by the Rangers. Like the naysayers are going to say there was one opportunity. I think Pridham had the opportunity, and there was one too many passes. But generally, this game the passing was so spot on.
And what I'd say to the naysayers is, all right, well, you're not playing against Carter George.
Yes.
So there is something
it's certain psychological.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is something in your mind that you're like, well, we have to make the extra pass. This guy is a phenomenal.
He's
goalie.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
But every goalie can get beat by the extra pass.
Yeah, for sure.
So I understand why the extra pass happened. And I think that there's room for improvement for some of these guys. Like I don't think Humps had his best game. I think he'll bounce back.
Yeah.
I think that there's a bunch of high-end talent that will perform even stronger now.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're up 1-0 in the series.
They are up 1-0 in the series, and that's really all that counts.
That's all that matters.
Yep. And so Sunday, game 2, we'll be back with Road to the Robertson, episode 6.
It's true. This is episode 5.
This will be 5.
Yeah.
So that will be 6.
Yeah.
And still no one in the back.
Nobody there.
There's some diapers for you to take.
Oh, perfect. I'll take
great.
those. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Just before we go, I got to shout out my new bud Josh, who I met at the beginning of the game, and then he also flagged me down as we were walking out of the parking lot and gave me a little if I'm really on point tonight in this post game reaction. It's because I basically got to practice on Josh to start.
Perfect.
So thank you, Josh, and your 2 kids. Really loved hearing your opinions too about the game.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, so I stole them all for this.
Good.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Game 2, round 2, Road to the Robertson. 8-5 win by the Rangers. The game started weird with a guitar, and then the whole game was weird.
Yeah, well, it was a weird game, but it was a fun game. I enjoyed that.
This is how I like watching hockey, for sure.
We can kind of skip the first period, I think, a little bit.
I mean, we got a goal. Sam O'Reilly scored, opened the scoring.
Sam O'Reilly along the boards is a menace. You know, he comes out of the corners and along the boards, and he's going to score a beautiful one that he kind of forces to the net, and Prudham has a look at, but gets tied up, and then O'Reilly finishes basically his own thing. But the second period started.
I mean, we got the end of the first period. We got to talk about the fact that there was a missed too many men on the ice, and then immediately after, the Rangers got called for back-to-back penalties and led to a 5-on-3 and managed to kill it off, and then went into the second on that penalty kill. So, that was pretty significant at the end of the first there.
Yeah, the officiating throughout the game was pretty inconsistent, I think.
Pretty tricky.
But the second period started out pretty good with the Anstis goal. The artist got a beauty. It's been said many times on the broadcast and on this pod that he doesn't get a lot of minutes, and when he does, he makes the most of them. This was just that.
Yeah.
And then it was the story of the Rangers either getting called for weird penalties that I wouldn't necessarily call in playoff hockey games, or just forgetting to play defense, especially allowing players behind them on, turnovers from the offensive zone.
Yeah.
It was like
Marco Mignosa got far too many breakaways.
Yeah, well, they had 3 breakaways in this period.
Yeah.
Mignosa had 2 of them, and he scored on 1 of them. So, Kirsch also had a huge save in the first period as well. I don't want to hear too much about save percentage in this one, because this one, pretty much all the goals against Kirsch were either power play or just like horrible turnovers by the Rangers.
For sure. There was nothing Kirsch could have done for the majority of those goals against. And, Carter George is on the other end and let in 8, so or 7.
Well, he let in 6. He let in 6.
Right, 2 and
However, it was still there was some weird stuff happening. Did you see that one that bounced off the glass and off the top of the net in the back of Carter George and stayed out somehow? I was like, there's this weird stuff going on in this game.
Yeah, there's something in the air tonight.
Tanner Lamb, we got to give him his props. He forced a penalty with a beautiful, nifty moves that set up the Humps power play goal.
Yep. And then he went on to score himself, which was a beautiful top shelfer. And, we've talked about him so many times being snake bitten in the first series, but Dylan Edwards showed up when he needed to tonight. He broke the tie twice in this crazy back and forth.
He took a penalty that I think was a penalty. He was pretty upset about it, but I understand why he was upset about it. Chase Reed mugged Christian Humphreys moments before, and then Edwards took a penalty, and then they called that Sam O'Reilly cross-check, which I think only empowered Sam O'Reilly to score a hat trick in this one. Obviously,
I will end you now.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing that I have a problem with happened at the end of the second period with the 2 roughing penalties to Ando on the same play.
Same play.
Well,
2 roughing. Was it a double minor? What even was it?
There's no double minor for roughing. That is not a thing in the book. I looked it up in the PDF. There's no double minor. So you called 2 individual 2-minute, and that's how it is on the score sheet too. If you look in the log, it says two roughing penalties. It's ridiculous. They also gave Brady Martin a roughing penalty on the sequence. It's either they both, to me, get 2 minutes and you even it up, or only you take one of them, which would be, sometimes they do that to try and calm it down.
Yeah.
But the giving 2 minutes to Ando, I was like, what are you, that kind of Mickey Mouse ticky-tack?
It was so
type of, what is this? I don't understand.
Ando was obviously trying to get him to fight. I kind of get the penalty for that, but that was the only thing that I saw. I didn't really understand.
Then I would just take the one.
Just
you
take
know
the
what I mean?
one.
Yes. I didn't understand that. That to me was kind of a microcosm of how this game went. And then, that was a weird second. I didn't know how things were going to go in the third.
No.
The third was also weird, but much better for the Rangers.
Well, in the end, it didn't start that way. They scored on the power play of the.
They did, of course. Of course they did.
Yeah. You get a weird power play call, and then you get it into the beginning of the third. You're going to score because why not?
Yeah. And then Edwards again responds on the power play.
Yeah.
He is inevitable. Dylan Edwards.
He is.
And then we saw this is the funny thing, is we saw probably the worst turnover of Jared Woolley's career that resulted in a goal. And then we saw the greatest moment of Jared Woolley's Kitchener Rangers career.
Kirsch got enough of it. Kirsch is tied up with the play-on play, stuck in the crease. Ranger fans want a penalty or at least a whistle or something. He's going to drag him right out of the crease. Travis Hayes was pulled like a child by Jared Woolley.
Probably his short ever so far.
Well, I believe he won a Memorial Cup last year.
No, doesn't count.
But I think the pulling the Sioux player out of the crease, which what was he doing in there? Why was he just get up, man?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
So a Kitchener player and a Sioux player were battling it out, went into Kirsch, there was a whole pile up happening. The Kitchener Ranger player, I think it was Campbell maybe, gets up, gets out of there, And the Sioux player's just like laying on the ground. Oh, I'm stuck on Kirsch. I'm stuck on Kirsch. Oh, terrible acting classes. Wooly just goes in and whoop, takes out the trash.
Travis Hayes. Yes, Travis Hayes goes into the I think he's tied up with a forward, actually, because it's Ando and Wooly on the... Yeah, he gets tied up with Tanner Lamb. He goes in, and then he just stays... And for no reason whatsoever. I'm watching the replay right now. There's no reason why he's in there. His stick isn't tied up.
No.
He's got enough. He could easily, army crawl out of there and get up and go.
Yeah.
But he just stays there because they're down one. It's 6-5. They're down one. And, I guess you do what you can do to, get a cheap one in the playoffs. I have no idea, but Jared Woolley wasn't having any of that.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Jason Hagum has probably the best call of his career. He says he pulled him out of there like he was a child.
Fans want a penalty or at least a whistle or something.
He's going to drag him right out of the crease.
Travis Hayes was pulled like a child by Jared Woolley.
Like he was a toddler. Oh my God, man. That is what I thought, because when I'm up in the field with my son and he falls down, I'll just grab him by the jacket and scoop him up. That is for sure the same vibe. It was amazing.
It was so good.
And like you were talking about before, Tanner Lamb with the timely response, I felt like the Hounds after that moment were just holding on for dear life and hoping for another opportunistic power play or goal, or they would get one more power play.
They got another opportunistic power play that shouldn't have been called. So
yeah,
they did get it. It was a weird game. They wouldn't fight Kitchener. Lachar tried to fight them
at the end.
Ando tried to fight them. It was so lame. It was so lame. The clock ran out. It looked like they might add 2 seconds on. Everyone's fighting at the end, whatever. Eventually, they finally say it's over. And Dylan Edwards, all the players skate out to salute the fans, as they often do. And Dylan Edwards skated towards the blue line, watching the Sioux leave the ice. And he said, "Go home! Go home!" Pointing at them to get out of there.
And you know what? I think that's a good note to end on there. Is let's you go home, I'll go home. We're already home, but let's go to the Sioux. We're going to take a flight up to the Sioux, and let's just get rid of these guys, man. Let's win them both. Let's win them both.
$1 bills, y'all, flying to the Sioux. We won 8-5. We're up for the series 2-0. Tuesday night. Tuesday night, we're in the Sioux for Game 3. Keep an eye out here for Road to the Robertson, number 8. Oh, no, number 7. Oh, dear God. The numbers are going to get hard here for a bit.
Just keep sweeping. It's just multiples of 4 all the time.
Yeah, winning 6 straight. It does make things easier for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll see you there.
Game 3, all ours. We went to the Sioux and we took it home.
3 goals from Dylan Edwards.
And one of the most beautiful goals by an amazing pass by Bilecki.
Oh yeah, incredible play. That's one of the best plays, one of the breakouts of the year. He carries it and then passes it to Tanner Lamb and beats the defenseman and then receives the pass and then one touches it across the slot. It was
behind
unbelievable.
Him. Behind him.
Exactly. Backhand one touch. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, all the things that you shouldn't be able to do individually, he did in all at once.
Yeah, there were people out there trying to stop him from doing that. That's the most impressive part.
I mean, this game. So this is episode 7, Road to the Robertson, Game 3 against the Sioux. Kitchener Rangers won 4-3, taking the series lead 3-0. This game did not start with the feistiness that I anticipated after the end of Game 2.
I mean, there was a fight 8.5 minutes in.
Okay, was that a setup fight? Was that a prearranged fight?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
A text message before the game fight?
Well, I don't know if it's a text message, but I think...
A warm-up fight?
Yeah, I think it was definitely an arranged fight because or maybe it was arranged at the end of the game because Lachar wanted to fight last game and they wouldn't fight. So maybe they said we can arrange check.
We'll send you a guy. We'll say
Yeah.
we won't let you fight
somebody.
Brady. We won't let you fight Brady Martin, but we'll give you some meat to punch next game.
I mean, Jordan Sharon's a pretty good hockey player, so
He is.
I was surprised he was the one who answered the bell. But I guess you do what you can to try and get your team going. Unfortunately for the Sioux, it never really panned out for them in this one. They were chasing the whole game.
Well, they every time the Rangers scored, they scored immediately after. It was a back and forth that way.
Well, it's actually in the third period, it was every time the Sioux scored, the Rangers scored.
Oh, sure.
After.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they never got the lead. The Sioux never got a lead. So.
No, they were chasing pretty much the whole time. And as soon as soon as they had that tying goal, the Rangers just kind of put the pressure back on. And I wasn't worried. Just like you could just see the ice tilt, even with Chase Reed's power play goal in the third to tie it up. Immediately the play went the other way. And the funny thing about Dylan Edwards' hat trick goal, which was barely sniffed at as a hat trick goal on the broadcast.
Yeah, they didn't even acknowledge that he got a hat trick.
No, not until like minutes later, and it was like his third goal of the game. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Dylan Edwards makes this unbelievable pass to Ando. Dylan is like next to the net, like to the left of the net.
Yeah.
And he passes it all the way through traffic to the point, and Ando plays it. It results in nothing. And then like moments later, Edwards is going behind the net and just like tosses the puck into the slot. And Winkelhofer puts it in for the game winner. Own goal.
He hoffed it into the net there.
Yeah, he Winkelhoffed it right into the net. Carter George is, Winkelhofer. It's I guess it sucks when you have a name like that and you score an own goal, because you can really yell it with like anger. Winkelhofer. Yeah, we have to mention Hayden Ellis had another goal on the Bilecki pass.
We hyped up the Bilecki pass, but we didn't say who got the goal.
Hayden Ellis, of course. Is he kind of having a playoffs? I'm starting to think that Hayden Ellis is having a playoffs. So I'm getting pretty excited about that he might be that guy who's like, he hadn't had a playoff goal until, the other night, and he had two. And now, is this going to become like, one of those things where he just keeps scoring? I would love that. I'm rooting for the kid from Buffalo. Jack Prudhomme had two primary assists in this one. The first one to Dylan Edwards, he's kind of bobbling the puck a little bit, and then he puts it on a tee. Like it may not look that impressive, but to put it exactly where a streaking, like dive bombing Dylan Edwards needs it, so that Dylan Edwards can just pick it up and then shoot it right into the net. It's just not an easy play. It's not going to make a highlight reel, but it's just such an incredibly nice pass that if you've ever tried to make that play in a situation like that, you just know like there's like, you have to get exactly the right speed on that pass, or else it's going to be like in Edwards' feet, right?
For sure.
It's just like perfectly timed. They're so in sync right now. Obviously, last series they didn't play together because they wanted more depth, I think, scoring. But they've loaded up that top line with Sam O'Reilly, Jack Prudhomme, and Dylan Edwards, and
what a combo!
It's just going. Of course, the third goal for the Rangers was that power play goal, which was clutch.
I do want to toot my own horn in saying that when I said after game 3 in the first series that Dylan Edwards was due and he was going to score 7, he has now scored 7 since I said that.
Do you know that? Like, you've almost tooted your horn as much as Edwards has scored.
Yeah.
You weren't even on the pod, and you got a shout out.
That wasn't me tooting my own horn. I got my horn tooted.
Okay,
one other thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap up here. Okay, the slew footing. Okay, I know it was a Sioux penalty, but like, what was that call?
Well, thankfully the Rangers didn't score on it because these whiny Sioux fans in our comments, especially on Facebook, you whiners, would be off the chain whining about, it wasn't even it wasn't a slew foot.
It wasn't a slew foot.
It was a Sioux foot. Double minor for slew footing. I don't know what I don't know, but the Rangers didn't score.
When did this rule book come out? The double minor for roughing, the double minor for a slew foot. What is happening?
This one, at least this one in the game score is printed as a double minor. So they must be able to call a double minor. I just have never seen it. I thought it was either 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I thought
it was an elbowing. It looked like an elbow.
It was for sure an elbow. It was for sure 2 minutes for elbowing. That's all it was.
That's what it should have been. It was a penalty. It just
for elbowing.
Yeah, for elbowing.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Slew foot.
Hey, we're kind of on your side, the Sioux, but not really.
No,
we're sending you home on Thursday.
The fact you're so we're on your side in the sense that weird call, but
weird calls.
So you're so whiny in our comments that I'm glad that this is going the way it's going, more so than just being a Rangers fan.
All right. Yeah.
So, I just wanted to say that essentially, the Rangers didn't put a lot of shots on net, and yet they're beating Carter George. If you want to talk about the save percentage and goals against average thing, and in the sense of wins are the only important goalie stat in the playoffs.
Yep. And Kirsch has 7 of them.
Mic drop.
All right. Rangers are back in action Thursday night for game 4 in the Sioux. We'll be back Thursday night after the game to be popping our champagne to round 3, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to count our chickens before they've hatched. I don't want to count our slew foots before they've slewed.
Yeah, the Sioux's still a good team. None of these games have been runaways in any way. So should be in for a good one on Thursday night. So there's gonna be a game 5. So game 4 against the Sioux Greyhound, Road to the Robertson, episode 8. The Rangers lost their first game of the playoffs. They lost 4-2 in regulation because you can't lose 4-2 in overtime.
And they lost because of the third period.
Third period.
About a 7-minute stretch in the third period where the game was lost.
Totally. Yeah, the Rangers scored twice pretty handedly in the first period. Second period, not a lot happened. It was very much, we have a lead, we will keep this lead. And then, they just let their foot off the gas. And the Sioux were like, hey, we'd like to win.
Yeah, I think the interview with Quinn McKenzie in the second intermission was pretty much, I thought, that seems like a very positive, optimistic young fella right there. Yeah, I did have a moment where I was just like, man, he seems pretty loose, not nervous at all.
Yeah.
And ultimately, Jordan Charron, and especially Jordan Charron, who had 2 goals, and Travis Hayes, of course, who was pulled out of the crease, his little
garbage man himself
contribution. Yeah, what can you say? There was a meltdown after meltdown. Obviously, the Sioux were intent on forcing a game 5, and I'm going to be honest, even after the 3 goals that the Rangers gave up, it did seem to me, even as a diehard biased Rangers fan, that the Rangers were a little content to come back and play tomorrow night. They had to come back anyway, and it just seemed like there was a little bit of like, okay, whatever, we'll get you next game. I'm not saying they're actually like that because they're gamers and they probably aren't like that, but the level of effort and intensity, were not matching the Sioux. It was a lot of pucks being dumped in and being immediately retrieved by the Sioux, and then just keep away kind of hockey.
Yeah, it really felt like even when they were up 3-2, the Rangers were playing like they had a 2-goal lead. They never went back to being like, oh, we have to score goals until it was too late, until you're pulling your goalie. And they had a couple opportunities. Kirsch saved it from being a 5-2 game.
Yeah.
After he gave away the puck, he got a save of the game for sure, coming around and diving through the air to get it. But
Might
I mean,
have been
George
save of
also
the
had
playoffs,
some, totally.
Yeah.
But George also had some crazy saves in that third period to keep them in it. The Rangers, although they didn't seem like they were playing with that great of intensity in that third period after they went down 3-2, they also seemed like they also still got good opportunities because the Rangers are a good team that always get good opportunities. So
yeah. And ultimately the book, I think, on Kirsch is the high glove, and that's what beat him tonight twice. And teams know I'm not breaking the news to anybody. Maybe I'm breaking the news to some Rangers fans, although they seem to be hypercritical, so they probably know as well.
Yeah, they probably know too. Yeah.
But it was, he's really got to lift that glove up. There's a couple times where I think it's just that absent-minded, like that the glove is resting near his pads, and that's where guys are looking. Like, guys are looking to go.
Yeah, they see the empty
top
space.
corner, right? So
yeah,
hopefully we can not have defensive breakdowns. We can not have a lot of penalties in Game 5, because I think that's the road to the Sioux forcing a Game 6. Is they haven't really been capitalizing on the power play until that third period. Like, they were 2 for 14, I think is what the commentators said.
Yeah.
That the Sioux were coming into this one. They were 2 for 14 coming in on this one, 2 for 15 now because they did not score on the Sam O'Reilly tripping penalty. And I think that in a game, in up 3-1, the refs are going to be calling this game extremely tight if the Rangers get a little sloppy and do things like hold and hook and those sorts of penalties. Stay clean, stay focused, shoot the puck more. I know that's a very basic thing, but more pucks at Carter George, more chaos in front of Carter George, that is going to be crucial, because I don't know about you, but when they went up 3-2 with less than a period left, I was like, Carter George is going to close the door here.
Carter George, immediately after that third goal by the Sioux, had a leather flash, beautiful glove save, and it was like, oh, he's locked in now. Like, he's always locked in, but really locked in.
You open the door this much for him to save the game and get a victory, and that's all he needs. He's going to come in and slam the door if he has to.
He didn't let in a sloppy one this game for sure. Like, those two goals were pretty magnificent by the Rangers. Specifically that second goal. Who ended up passing it to Ellis to put it in the net?
It was Lachar's goal, actually. The second goal? Or are you thinking about the Ellis?
Oh, I'm thinking about the first goal.
The first goal. Arquette scored from Ellis and Lamb.
Right, from Ellis and Lamb. Yeah.
The Smurf 2.0 line.
That Lamb to Ellis was a stunning pass. And then the fact that he basically one-touched it to Arquette, who was just wide open by himself in front of an empty net, was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, this is awesome. This secondary scoring here is killer.
This is the thing, though, is like, if you want to not to be negative or take a negative standpoint on this, but the secondary scoring's been there. Yes, Dylan Edwards, that line scored a ton last game and the game before and whatever. But in these closeout games, you're going to need a goal from your big line. Like, you're going to need, and the fact is they didn't get one tonight and they're going home with a loss. That's the difference, right? It's great that the third and fourth line scored. That's awesome. We called that. We can victory lap that. I'd rather that they didn't score and the top two lines do all the scoring if we're going to win.
Yeah.
So ultimately, stay out of the box, get a lead, protect the lead, and we'd love to see like a 2. And once you're up 2, push, right?
Yep.
Like push harder. That didn't really happen in that second period. And I get it. You're up in the Sioux. It could be hard, but this is what championship pedigree is about, right? Is winning these games. So like, I would love to be in a position as a Rangers fan at the Aud tomorrow night to be like, just high-fiving people by like middle of the second period because it's 6-0.
Sing it home. Yeah. All right. So yes, Game 5 tomorrow night, Friday, April 17th at the Aud. I think it's a 7 p.m.er. I think tickets go on sale in 10 minutes from now at 10 p.m. tonight. So it's like,
oh really?
Yeah. They were not on sale yet. So
okay, there you go. Hopefully we will see you there.
Hopefully we'll see you.
Hopefully if we get that, that 2-0 lead again, or that 2-goal lead.
Maybe we'll go for the 3-0 lead.
I was going to say, we don't prove it to be the worst lead in hockey the way it was tonight, right? I don't understand that, but for some reason, people say it, and it was true tonight. Worst lead in hockey.
Worst lead in hockey. All right.
The 2-goal lead.
See y'all tomorrow night.
The Sioux Greyhounds are out of here.
They're outta
no
here.
dogs allowed.
That's right. Back to the pound.
Yeah, and Andrew here got a really nice new
That's true.
sweater. Thanks to, we have to shout out Blake and Trevor and Lana
Yes.
at Rangers Authentics for making the
Hooking
Jack
me up.
Pridham jersey happen.
Absolutely.
Because Andrew's got a thing about overagers. We won.
We won. Dominant win.
Dominant win.
Yeah.
It started
Not so great.
Not great.
Yeah.
With a quick goal by exactly what we said should happen. We wanted a quick goal. We sometimes forget to specify who has to score that goal.
Yes. It was a bit of the Evan Hedrick situation. My Christmas wish was Evan Hedrick scores the goal. He gets traded to Erie, scores the goal immediately.
First shift.
We
of the
said
next
we
game.
wanted like first minute. We'd love a goal.
Yeah,
and
and
unfortunately,
that happened.
Yeah, that unfortunately.
It happened. Yes.
And it looked like it was going to be maybe a bit of a nervous game.
Yeah.
And,
Luckily, we got one back right away.
Right away.
Very
Yeah.
nice goal. Dylan Edwards, I think, was it?
No, it was Archie.
Oh, Arquette. How could we forget?
Yeah, depth scoring.
We're pretty jazzed. The odd was pretty rocking tonight.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, the chanting with the clappers on the metal. Oh man, it was the rocking. It was good.
The odd was rocked. Talking a little bit more about the game.
Oh yeah,
the game, not just the crowd. The Rangers, they did a good job of getting in front and clamping down and reducing chances. There was a couple scary moments. There was a post hit. There was a few giveaways behind the net. It never resulted in anything.
Yeah,
Ultimately, I was happy. Obviously, we talked about how we wanted to see a little bit more of like a foot on throat kind of situation.
Yeah.
But I was happy that they did close it out.
Yes.
I don't think, they fully turned off the offense. They didn't park the bus, let's say. They closed out. They did what they had to do.
Yes. And there were a lot of nervous fans in ahead of time. And I was liking to say that it's nice that the Rangers brought a win home because all these game 4s are going to be on the road. So
well, yeah.
This was for us.
Yeah.
This was a game for the fans.
That's true. We do have to talk about the first empty netter by Sam O'Reilly.
Yeah, he got smoked, eh, guys? So
you always check the back seat.
Always.
he drove the net really hard and unfortunately took a hard one off the post there.
Right where you don't want to take a post.
But then gets another empty net goal.
He did for his trouble.
Yeah.
One for each.
Couple cracked peanuts in that basket there.
Yeah. No, it was that situation was literally quite nuts.
Babs, thanks for joining us. What did you see tonight?
I just saw a lot of competitiveness. I think last night they kind of thought they won the game. And then that resulted in them losing the game because a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey.
That was the worst lead in hockey. Yeah.
Yeah. So outside of that, man, it's just they took care of business. Carter George also kind of kept them in that the game for the Sioux at times.
That's true.
Bailed them out. Penalty calls were interesting. I think the Sioux kind of the game was over at the end of the second period where they got 2 tenors and that too.
Yeah.
So that kind of really iced the cake.
And you might, that's the name of the episode, by the way. I don't know how you knew that, but icing on the PK cake is the name of the episode because we did actually see the, what would we call it? The vaunted icing on the penalty kill call.
Yes.
That really set the rink off.
Oh, yeah.
And they were on the refs all night, which I mean, to some degree, I understand why the odd was on the refs.
There was some weird, I'm not going to say bad, but weird calls that preempted that call at the end of the first period.
Very much so.
And when they called the icing on the PK and then put the puck drop at center ice, the odd no longer respected the refs.
No.
But center ice is where they're supposed to put it after a mistake.
That is true. That is true.
I don't disagree with you on that. But that is where they lost the fans.
Yeah. that is by the rule book.
Yeah.
However, by the rule book.
You guys are a Kitchener Rangers podcast, but I will say this. They've almost always just lost the fans. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Regardless of anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the odd fans, they're odd in that way.
They want blood with the officials.
Yeah.
I think there's a long history there with a couple officials
Yes.
And then therefore now that has colored the entire relationship with the officials, with all of the officials. What else
do we have to say about this game?
Yeah.
We're going on to face Windsor.
Yeah.
Round 3 conference finals. Again.
Windsor will be looking for redemption.
Yes. Green Tree just wants to win a game against Kitchener.
That's true. He did get one in the regular season.
He got one in the regular season.
We'll give him that.
Let's not give him a playoff game.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough test. I expect it will be a long series.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Game 1 will be next week at some point. Between now and then, Andrew and I, and, I don't want to commit Babs or not, but he might show up. That's how things happen here.
Yep.
We are going to do a recap episode and a preview episode for the Windsor series. And if you want to tell us any of your thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. You can go on our website, theaudpod.com, and you can record at the top of our page. There's a place to leave a voicemail for us. You could be featured on the pod, or we will react to your voicemail, or we will read it out loud. And ultimately, we want to hear your thoughts and opinions about not just this series, but the upcoming series with Windsor, and we will react to that.
Yep. Babs, if you were to call in to our voicemail, what would you say?
I'd probably do a review of the backseat of your car. It's awfully clean. There's not a lot of crumbs. Given that you have young children, I would expect more. But Kitchener did a good job tonight of picking up all the crumbs. They definitely did a good job of delivering when they needed to.
True professional.
This guy is real hockey media. And he has the past to prove it.
Yeah.
Well, can you call me real hockey media when I've done 2 podcasts in the backseat of someone's car?
And with that, we'll see you in round 3.